There is a question that the entire world seems unable to answer: what exactly is China hiding? Every time one thinks they have grasped the nation's full capabilities, it immediately unveils something new. China's inventory of advanced technology is now like Doraemon's magic pocket, seemingly bottomless. A review of its most recently showcased technologies confirms this. First is the new Kaihong YH-1000 unmanned transport aircraft, which successfully completed its maiden flight on May 22 ND. This aircraft can carry 1.2 tons of cargo over a distance of up to 1,500 kilometers. It can take off and land directly from runways, grasslands, snowfields, and even water surfaces. In peacetime, it can be used for delivering packages or agricultural products. But in times of emergency, its potential applications are formidable. With a range of 1,500 kilometers, it can fly from the southern tip of China's Hainan Island and deliver goods directly to the Strait of Malacca. The spectacle of hundreds, or even thousands of these aircraft simultaneously flying to the front lines would be immense. More impressively, this is an unmanned aircraft, saving the need for pilots. In theory, as long as raw materials are available, China can build as many as it needs, demonstrating a logistical support capability that is virtually limitless. And this is just one member of the Kaihong family. Previously unveiled models include the Kaihong 9 high-altitude long-endurance UAV, the Kaihong 10 unmanned tilt-rotor aircraft, and the Kaihong 7 high-altitude subsonic UAV. Each of these aircraft is more groundbreaking than the last, capable of stunning the world. The Kaihong 9, for example, can fly continuously for 40 hours without landing, equivalent to a direct flight from Beijing to New York. Its flight altitude is also extraordinary. This UAV can reach 11,000 meters, making it untouchable by most conventional air defense weapons. Yet this strategic weapon is being mass-produced by China. Then there's the Kaihong 10, which can perform vertical takeoffs and landings on aircraft carriers. It can scout, conduct reconnaissance, and transport small quantities of goods, making it the perfect sentinel for both naval fleets and ground forces. Even more striking is the Kaihong 7 high-altitude subsonic UAV. On the surface it appears unremarkable, but in reality its stealth capabilities are extremely high, similar to the American B-2 bomber, making it very difficult for the enemy to detect. Equipped with this aircraft, the military can penetrate deep into enemy territory to execute missions akin to being given a pair of invisible contact lenses to identify critical enemy targets in advance. With these 4 aircraft, China has constructed a complete unmanned combat system spanning logistics, reconnaissance, conventional strikes, and covert operations. When facing such an adversary, one might be completely destroyed before even knowing where the opponent is. The reason Pakistan was able to achieve a decisive 6-0 victory against India in a recent conflict was its use of this integrated Chinese combat system, which allowed for precise strikes the moment Indian aircraft took off. Next is the second piece of advanced technology, the large amphibious aircraft AG-600 Kunlong, which was test-flown in Zhuhai on May 18th. Its most remarkable feature is its ability to take off and land in rough seas. This means that once this aircraft is deployed on a large scale, the entire South China Sea and East China Sea could effectively become China's airfields. Should the Philippines decide to cause trouble, Japan make a move on the Diaoyu Islands, or the US have ideas about the Strait of Malacca, the Kunlong fleet could be dispatched immediately to resupply the front lines. According to external estimates, the full deployment of this aircraft would increase supply efficiency to the South China Sea islands and reefs by more than tenfold, and reduce maritime rescue response times by 80%. This capability isn't limited to the South China Sea. It could also extend to the Indian Pacific and Arctic Oceans under the rationale of protecting free trade and merchant vessels. Of course, the most attention-grabbing news was the maiden flight of the Jiutian drone. After its debut at the Zhuhai Airshow last year, the Jiutian drone disappeared from public view. Just as speculation was mounting, CCTV News suddenly announced that the drone was expected to complete its first flight in June. The news was met with widespread excitement, as this aircraft is incredibly formidable. It has a maximum takeoff weight of 16 tons and a payload capacity of 6 tons, comparable to a light bomber. Its maximum range is 70 kilometers, allowing it to fly from China's Heilongjiang province directly to Hawaii. Even more astonishingly, this UAV has 8 hardpoints capable of carrying 10-kilogram class guided bombs or a large number of anti-ship and air-to-air missiles, effectively making it a mobile missile platform. The most unbelievable feature is that it has turned science fiction into reality with the development of a Beehive mission pod. In sci-fi films, alien invasions often feature a colossal mothership in the sky from which swarms of smaller alien craft emerge to launch saturation attacks. The Jiutian drone has made this a reality. It can carry hundreds of smaller drones. In an operation, hundreds of Jiutian drones could take off simultaneously and release tens of thousands of smaller aircraft, a scenario that could fundamentally change the paradigm of modern warfare. These pieces of equipment are merely the tip of the iceberg of China's true strength. Many more advanced technologies remain hidden, unknown to the public unless one pays close attention. For instance, the recently revealed test of a scramjet detonation engine (SD) was a stunning development. Its speed can reach Mach 16, faster than most missiles and rockets. In theory, it could cross half the globe in just 1 hour. Equipping the H-20 bomber with this engine would create a real-life version of the droplet from the three-body problem. Another example is a satellite image that circulated online in February, allegedly showing a Type 93B nuclear attack submarine. While many previously considered nuclear submarines a weak point for China, this submarine is reported to have not only 24 vertical launch cells, but also a new pump jet propulsion system with potential future upgrades to rim-driven pump jet technology. If so, its stealth precision and destructive power would be on par with America's most powerful nuclear submarines. Considering all this, it becomes clear why the United States has suddenly become more cautious. Talk of a hot war has ceased, and the trade war has quieted down. Ultimately, they have been repeatedly stunned by China's progress. Many people wonder why China doesn't showcase its strength more openly. In reality, it has done so many times, but in ways not everyone understands. The spy balloon incident a few years ago is a case in point. To the layman, it was a spectacle. To experts, it was a clear test of the real-world capabilities of America's fifth-generation fighters. The balloon flew at an altitude of 30 meters where the U.S. Air Force was helpless. It then descended to 20 meters and the F-22 fighter was still unable to intercept it. Only after it descended to just over 10 meters was it finally destroyed. Through this event, China gained a clear understanding of the U.S. Air Force's maximum operational altitude. Another notable incident occurred during a recent joint U.S.-Japan-Philippines military exercise. A Chinese Type 815A electronic reconnaissance ship sailed directly between them at one point, coming within 8 nautical miles of each other. Anyone with any military knowledge knows that this is a dangerous distance. However, the Americans only detected the ship visually. Their radar systems did not respond. While the Chinese may have dismissed it as a farce, insiders understood the real meaning. If China could get a reconnaissance ship this close without being detected, they could do the same with a destroyer. The news reportedly embarrassed the Americans, and the exercise was hastily ended as further confusion would only have led to further embarrassment. Therefore, it is not that China doesn't display its strength, but that its methods are too subtle, requiring a certain level of expertise to comprehend. While the average American may not grasp China's power, the country's top leadership knows very well that China is no longer an adversary they can afford to provoke. In a recently surfaced video from a U.S. congressional hearing, a lawmaker pointed out several critical issues. He stated that China controls the processing and refining of nearly all rare earths and critical minerals, holding the core components of America's military defense in its hands. The production capacity of a single Chinese shipyard exceeds the total capacity of all U.S. shipyards combined. China's shipbuilding capability is 230 times that of the United States. Furthermore, China holds significant advantages in new energy, robotics, and drones. This is an opponent far more powerful than most people imagine. The U.S. lawmaker also raised a crucial point: China graduates tens of millions of STEM students every year. This is the truly formidable aspect. Superficially, competition between nations is about weaponry, but in reality it is a competition for talent. While China continuously cultivates a massive pool of talent, the US is promoting happy education, and its administration is expelling international students from top universities. These contrasting approaches will inevitably lead to a significant brain drain from the US, causing it to fall far behind in its competition with China. Understanding this, it becomes clear that the strength of China we see today is likely just the tip of the iceberg. Many more paradigm-shifting technologies are hidden in its true magic pocket. This equipment is rarely shown, but once unveiled it will unleash power beyond imagination. One need only look at the performance of the J-10 fighter in the India-Pakistan air conflict. A slight exertion of China's strength was enough to silence the world. This is the best proof of its power today.